So last month, I got hacked on Instagram. Some fucker got into my account and within an hour, they managed to send, without exaggeration, thousands of fake Elon Musk crypto casino screenshots to my followers. This incident revealed a deeply disturbing insight into the brains of aspiring copywriters. I was in genuine shock at the replies I was getting to this scam screenshot. You guys are fucking cooked. We need to talk about this. So there I was, 2 a.m. on a Thursday night, just wrapped up a deep work session, shut my laptop, ready for bed. I check my phone and see a flood of DMs on my artist account from random friends, some of which I haven't talked to in years, replying to something that I'd sent them. And I'm like, all right,
what the fuck is going on here?
So I open Instagram and I see this Elon Musk crypto casino screenshot that I'd apparently sent them. I start scrolling and there are hundreds and hundreds of these message threads, including messages to exes, people from high school, big name artists, label executives who I've spent years building relationships with, and my heart just sinks. Obviously realizing I'd been hacked. Then I switch to my Ferres business account and I see hundreds more. I start scrolling, dude, and the scroll just doesn't stop. I'm just scrolling into infinity with these screenshots. I just wanted to curl up and die. I swear to God, this hacker sent this fucking screenshot to every single person I'd ever talked to on Instagram in the last 10 years. I can't even send 30 messages without getting restricted, and this guy was able to send thousands of scam screenshots in an hour. Okay, Instagram. We still to this day have no idea how this happened. I can only assume it was one of my team members' logins was somehow compromised, and despite having maximum security and 2FA on the account, someone must have got hold of their login and used OpenClaw or some similar bot to blast out these screenshots. So I'm sitting there at 2 a.m. going, great, now I look like a complete fuckhead to everyone who's ever known me. And like any good person who doesn't want his friends and followers to get scammed, I sat there for 5 hours straight until 7 a.m. manually unsending these screenshots one by one till my eyes were stinging and I couldn't see my phone screen. I finished my artist business account at 7 a.m. I had every one of my team members in the account the whole of the next day, and it took us an entire day to clean the shit up. Total shit show. But what happened next was so much worse, because as I'm going through these messages, unsending them, I'm seeing the replies. Literally every second person is saying, is this real? Is this legit? How do I sign up? A couple of people actually signed up for this thing and lost money. Technically one guy won 10 grand and then couldn't withdraw it, so I don't know if that's an L or a W. Either this means I am such a trusted authority that people will blindly follow whatever I say without question, which is equally flattering and terrifying, or more likely, the general population just cannot seem to spot an obvious scam to save their fucking life. I remember there was one guy in particular. I deleted the screenshot right after he saw it. Guy messages me back, hey, where can I get that? I was like, no mate, it's a scam. He goes,
No, but the casino thing, I want it. Where can I get it?
I'm like, dude, it's a literal fucking scam. Daddy Elon does not want to send you $2,500. Bear in mind, this was a guy who ghosted me for weeks after I sent him a free copywriting training. Weeks! He couldn't be bothered to invest 20 minutes of his time into learning a real skill. But the second I accidentally put free, effortless, instant money in front of him, he's on it like a fucking Jehovah's Witness. And I saw this play out hundreds of times in my DMs. And it crystallized something for me that I already knew, but seeing it in real time, at that scale, it became painfully obvious why the average aspiring entrepreneur will never make a single dollar in their life. They are pathologically short-sighted. What I realized about the general public is that they do not think months or even weeks ahead. They are literally thinking about today, right now, how can I make money this second? People come into copywriting with the most warped expectations I've ever seen. These people genuinely think they're going to enter a field where people have been grinding for years, sometimes decades, and just immediately start earning thousands of dollars. Like, mate, if it were that easy, every single person on the planet would be making millions online and no one would have a job. People are out here buying courses and expecting to make money that week. Some of these smooth brains even have a level of delusion beyond that, where they think online education is a scam, so they'll just watch YouTube videos, learn it for free, and then go start making 6 figures online. Like traditionally, people invest 100 grand and 4 years of their life at university to maybe work their way up to a job that pays them 6 figures. And with online education programs like mine, we're able to compress that investment down to a few $1,000s and a few months instead of years. But here you come along, the pimply-faced broccoli head emperor of Foxville, thinking you're gonna come along, watch a few YouTube videos and start printing on auto. Literally, a 2013 survey found that 52% of high school seniors actually believed they'd be a millionaire by age 25. I mean, the stats prove that under 1% of them will. And I need to know what you people are smoking, because the gap between expectation and reality is a fucking canyon. Truly the highest level of delusion I've ever seen. If you're getting into copywriting or any serious online business as a get-rich-quick play, please allow me to be the bearer of bad news. You are gonna have a terrible time. You are going to get wrecked. You are not going to make it. Full stop. And that's okay, because you know what? We need people to work jobs too. So if that's your expectation going in, entrepreneurship just isn't for you. Save yourself the heartbreak. Clearly, none of these make money online gurus have shown you what the actual entrepreneurial journey looks like, so allow me to demonstrate. Here we have money, and here we have time. This is a job. At a job, you are paid hourly at a fixed rate, purely depending on how many hours you put in, regardless of the actual value those hours produce. It's a nice little perfect up and to the right. Your income is very safe, very guaranteed. This is not at all how entrepreneurship, including and especially freelance copywriting, works. The journey is exponential, always like this. You will invest weeks, possibly even months or years in extreme cases, into developing your skill set before you ever make a single dollar. And then, once and only the market has validated that your skill set is worth paying for, you will start to earn. And it will start slowly because you're not that good yet. You'll be underpaid and work with less desirable clients because you're not that good yet. Then, once you start to accumulate skills, clients, and experience, you will increase your rates, work with better clients, and get referrals, collect case studies that allow you to build momentum and confidence and keep improving your rates and client roster and take off, and it becomes a virtuous cycle. That's why it looks like to an outsider that you're this overnight success who all of a sudden went from 0 to 10K a month in 1 month, because they don't see the months of skills leading up to that. Just like a bamboo tree who appears to do fuck all for 3 years, and then all of a sudden, bam, that fucker shoots up 30 meters in a month. That's entrepreneurship. And unlike bamboo or a job, there's no limits to how high you can grow because your skills compound. This exponential curve here has no limits. I mean, look at Elon. He's about to become the world's first trillionaire. One human being worth more than most Fortune 500 companies because he takes risks, bets on himself, and his skills keep compounding. He made fuck all money for the first 10 years of his career. Comparatively, okay, he still became a billionaire. But look at the payoff. That's why we play this game, because the returns are near infinite. But you can't go into the freelance game expecting the stability of a job and the returns of entrepreneurship. That's not how it works. Entrepreneurship, by definition, means you are rewarded for taking risks. That's why your boss makes 100 times more than you, and rightfully so, because most people are giant pussies and can't stomach the slightest level of uncertainty, so they clutch for dear life at the tiny bit of money they have and never throw their nuts on the table to try and turn that money into more money. Think about it this way. If your copy isn't even as good as ChatGPT or Claude, why the fuck would a business pay you instead of just paying AI? That's the barrier to entry now. Thankfully, it's not that high yet, but it's always improving. And if you're not at least at that level, you don't have the right to start commanding money. You haven't earned it. Copywriting is a real profession. You need to treat it like one instead of some get-rich-quick scheme where you try it for 2 weeks, give up, and then start again with the next shiny object that comes along. You might have seen this little diagram before. It's called the emotional cycle of change. And here's how it works. You find a new opportunity, could be copywriting, trading, dropshipping, whatever. You get this rush of uninformed optimism. This is it. This is the one. This is going to change my life. You're all fired up. You're watching videos. You're taking notes. You're all about that shit for 5 days. Then reality kicks in. You realize, oh shit, this is actually way harder than I thought. And you go down to here, which is informed pessimism. Oh, I'm actually gonna have to put in real work. This isn't just push button, make money. And then you ride that all the way down into the valley of despair. And this is where most people quit. The moment it gets remotely tough, their little bizop gremlin brain kicks in. They find a new shiny object because the grass always looks greener on the other side, doesn't it? Because the people selling these business opportunities never share the downsides of the opportunity. And every business has downsides. But you don't know what they are when you start, so you get that fresh hit of uninformed optimism again, and the whole cycle repeats. Quitting at the bottom every single time. This is a dragon you are going to have to learn to slay if you want to ride this curve out the other side and experience success like all the other copywriters you've seen on my Instagram stories every day. Look, 83 people in my community have gone from 0 to 6 figures. Most of them did it in around 3 to 6 months. And you know what every single one of them has in common? They invested in themselves to learn the skill of copywriting and client acquisition because they recognize that it's fucking idiotic to waste 5 years of their life trying to figure it out alone in an industry that is moving as quickly as this. They understand that if they can shortcut the learning curve from 5 years to 5 months, then spending a few grand to do so is by far the cheapest and most sensible option. None of them watched a YouTube video and were making 10 grand the next week. That is not how this works. That has never been how this works. When you ever hear success stories of people who watched them YouTube videos and then were making 6 figures a few months later? Never. You need to invest because if there's no skin in the game, there is no game. Over the last few years, we have seen such a decline in people's willingness to invest in themselves that the entire business world has started to call it a trust recession. Fewer people are buying courses, education, and mentorships, and outside of grown adults buying Labubus, it is the stupidest trend I have ever witnessed. I've invested anywhere from 20 to 100% of my income into paid mentorships since I was in high school, and everything I've ever accomplished has been dramatically accelerated by courses, coaching, and masterminds. I would absolutely not be where I am today without my mentors. $6 million doesn't lie. That is why I do what I do, because of the impact paid mentorships have had on me. People are really out here thinking they can just piece it together from free content with no guidance, no feedback, no accountability, no one reviewing their copy or their outreach or their scripts to help them improve. You wouldn't try and learn brain surgery for free on YouTube. So why is copywriting any different? People are content wasting months and years of their life trying to figure it out alone instead of just nutting up a few grand and investing in themselves and treating it like the serious craft that it is. You need to have some respect for this craft and have some respect for your own time, because what you're effectively saying by refusing to invest in yourself is that you value a few grand more than years of your life wasted. I can't stress it enough. If you want to succeed in this field, stop being a pussy and invest in yourself. Do not be like the people in my DMs who ghosted me for weeks on real training, but then jumped on a fake crypto casino scam in under 60 seconds. These people are going to die poor. You cannot model their behavior. Do not be the person who keeps riding the emotional cycle into the ground every 2 weeks because something got hard. The success is on the other side of the valley of despair. That is where it's always been. Every successful person you admire went through that valley. It is a rite of passage. The only difference between them and the people who were still stuck is that they didn't quit. They invested, they committed, they got help, and they pushed through. Daddy Elon sold PayPal for $100 million. That is enough to set him up for 10 lifetimes. And what did he do? Did he fuck off to some island and sip mojitos for the rest of his life? No, he invested every single cent of that back into the bank of Elon, back into himself, backed himself, started Tesla and SpaceX, and $814 billion in personal net worth later. I'd say that decision turned out pretty well for him. If you take this seriously, if you treat it like the profession it is, if you invest in yourself and you put in 3 to 6 months of real focused work, then yes, you can be earning 6 figures a year. That is not a pipe dream. I've watched it happen 83 times, but it requires you to stop looking for shortcuts, stop chasing get rich quick bullshit, and start actually respecting the process. That's it for this one today. No fancy editing, just needed to get this message out. Let me know if you prefer this more raw style or if I should go back to my fancy edits. If this hit home and you want help doing this properly, there's a link below to apply for the 2026 Copywriter Breakthrough Challenge. I'd have me and my team of A-list copywriters personally help you build a 6-figure copywriting business. And if you're not ready to nut up and invest, watch this video next to learn the full system we've used to take 83 copywriters from 0 to 10K a month. And whatever you do, please, for the love of God, do not sign up for a fake Elon Musk crypto casino. My name is Ferres. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one.